Did to me.
Acknowledge me.
Leveled by Marvin Constant, the redshirt freshman out of Tuscaloosa.
Oh, they go by now. Let him know he don't want to. 65 yards as the ball was thrown away from the line of scrimmage. Gerald Dixon.
Hey, you forgot to see my book.
Yep, they're going to find out because the Bama Standard is back on the air Tuesday night at your regular scheduled time. We are here to rock the house. Before we get all started, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, live chat. I want you to get rowdy tonight. Let's hear from you. I got a feeling like we're going to hear a lot of prophetic words, especially from Marvin and Smoke up there. But anyway, we're going to get to that. Before I introduce my all-star crew, we got a sponsor that helps pay the bills and gets things bringing the heat to you every week. And that is One Limestone. Have you ever dreamed of having beautiful natural stone in or around your home? Don't settle for subpar materials. Check out Limestone Company's selection of natural stone products to meet all of your project needs. Limestone is located conveniently in Alabama, and it's one of the oldest, most trusted sources in the state. So contact them today. Don't tell them I screwed up the name. Tell them we sent you by using the promo code the Bama Standard to receive 10% off your first order. I'm your host, Justin Riley, and with me, as always, the undefeated, undisputed king of comedy. He's everybody's cousin, the one, the only, the star of the show, Steve Brown.
Man, listen. Yeah! You okay, Steve? No, listen, that was your sound effect. Hey, man, hey, I'm here. I'm ready to get it, man. We got a lot to talk about, man. This is going to be a great show, man. So listen, people that's already here, y'all hit some people, get online, invite them to the show, send them the link. Let's get it, man. This is about to be a great one. I already know it.
That's right. We are 1 week out from A-Day. A lot to talk about, but one who is never short of words. When Ric Flair said to be the man, you got to beat the man, ladies and gentlemen, he's still that man, and he was a 1999 All-SEC linebacker, Marvin Constant.
We're not worthy. We're not.
Hey. Man, this internet's all jacked up, really? Man. Go pay your bill, Joker. Glitching.
I
don't know what's going on. Yeah, this thing is.
He talked too damn much. What?
He ain't paid a bill, man. He broke.
That's God right there, Steve.
Spent all that money on his body for buff metrics. Go ahead, Justin. Finish out the introduction, man.
He also spent all the money on that BBL. We won't talk about that.
Marvin got a BBL. Marvin got childbearing hips. Okay, there you go.
This segment brought to you by the letter P. Anyway, we got another All-SEC player in the house. He's a former DB for Alabama and Bills Mafia. He was a scout for Bills Mafia and the XFL. He's doing this thing with us, and he's never short of any words. And we're here to hear his prophetic words, the legendary Smoke Dixon.
You know what, man? I don't even feel a part of this show anymore, Steve. I think it's just more like me, you, Steve, and them other jokers. I ain't with them. What they did to me last week, bro?
What?
Sold me out. Try to put me against my brother Kevin Jackson just because I left the guy off a top 5 list.
Hey, man, I had nothing to do with that.
Yeah, you had nothing to do with it. Yeah, had nothing to do with it. It's Marvin talking about me trying to sell Chips Ahoy cookies and all that other stuff. Man, I heard you. Listen, I got something for you, homeboy. But go ahead, get to the other main person in this whole thing, Stephen M. I ain't trying to hear. Hey. Let the man finish the introduction. We'll get to you in a second. You got your time coming, homeboy.
Oh, last but not least, he's a senior analyst of the Bama Standard. He's also coaching folks up at Pell City High. And he is the international sex symbol known as Stephen M. Smith.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm happy to have Steve Brown back. One's up, baby. Steve Brown.
That's it.
Man. Hey, man, listen. I'm glad that you back too, man. But next time you come, put on some bottoms. I don't put some bottoms on, bro.
I got bottoms on. What you mean?
I saw you when you came in, bro. Put some
I got an email from the FCC, so yeah,
Mm.
don't do that again.
Yeah, you got like you got on a big white pamphlet. Don't do that, bro.
Chill out. No.
Guys, we are 1 week out from A Day or whatever the new modified version is.
B Day, C Day, D Day, F Day. Keep on going through the alphabet because I thought A Day was like a Z Day.
Lowercase A Day, but go ahead.
That part.
More like the Great Value brand A Day. The Craigslist A Day.
Timu A Day, go ahead.
Timu A Day. That's exactly what it is. Man, will it be enough to quench our appetite for football? Who knows? But we're still going to be here to talk about it. Guys, how are we feeling 1 week out from the A Day that is? Before we really get into topics, I want to hear from you guys. How y'all feeling about the team? We've been hearing rumblings about a lot of stuff. Steve, you missed last week, so yeah. I'm going to let you kind of open us up before we get to our main topics, and we got some good ones, folks. So hang on.
Hey man, listen, I'm all about the next man up. I'm all about loyalty and to the team and all that. And you know, like I was a Milrow maniac. I'm on a Ty Simpson train and. My guy, he's doing his thing, but I also heard that the freshman, he's now starting to pick it up. So it's turned into a real competition. That Keelan guy, he won't go away. So I don't know, man. We'll see. But Ty, come on, man. It's your show. You got to pull it on out.
Steve, you've been waiting on your guy Ty to show up.
I've been waiting, bro. I mean, my thing is, man. I hope I'm pulling for him, man.
No, don't use that word hope. You know, hope's not a real word that you should use in competition.
All right, well, you know what? I'm pushing for him. I'm advocating.
Love that.
I'm advocating, but the thing is, it seems like Keelan Russell is like, okay, hold up, wait a minute. Let me show you who I am. So, it's a huge problem, but it's a good problem to have.
Smoke, I think the word hope is associated with Marvin Constant's internet connection.
Digitally imposed vision. That's a bad look. Hey,
Marvin is he's on the show, but he's looking at porn as well. So he got a virus. that porn gave him a virus. Yeah.
Hey, he got one too many windows open, man. Go ahead and get that old dial up out of there, man. Trying to tell people that you're paying your bills. You stealing internet from your next door neighbors.
Hey, but look
Get
how
out of here.
Look how he's looking.
You done yet?
He's on America Online. As soon as he jumped back on, I heard, you've got mail.
Steven, what are you hearing about the quarterback? Since I'm so excited about my guy Ty, what are you hearing, brother?
What I'm hearing is Ty's the man. He's the man. He's going to show. The first scrimmage was 3 touchdown passes. But right now, the battle for real is Key Russ and Austin Mack. Like that
ain't no battle.
Which is not really a battle, as Smoke mentioned, but that's what they're making it out to be between Key Russ and Austin Mack. But Ty Simpson's number 1.
So what do you mean by it's really not a battle, Smoke? What do you mean?
Well, Austin Mack is not going to challenge Keelan Russell for any jobs at Alabama at the quarterback position. If that's a problem, and if K. Russell can't beat out Austin Mack for a backup position, then Alabama really has a problem. I think that Austin Mack probably at the end of spring be in a spring portal.
Oh, wow.
Because if he's looking at it, and I'm not saying nothing about the kid's ability. I'm just saying the circumstances and the position that he's in.
Yeah.
And think about it like this. If Ty Simpson is appointed and he's earned the starting job going into fall camp, then you have a young man that has 4 years of eligibility, the 5-star recruit that's coming in, that's going to be the backup. Ty Simpson only has 1 year eligibility left.
Right.
That means he plays this year out. If he's a starter, then you're going to have to sit behind a 5-star player that's already in front of you. So what's your chances of playing? if you've already been in college for this would be year 3 for him.
Yes, it would be.
Hey, Smoke. But let me say this. I believe this though. I believe Ty's going to get the start. I hope he does. Well, I can't say. I'm advocating. But I also believe if he gets in there and stink it up, and Keelan gets in, he ain't getting his job back.
No, I don't think he'll get his job back either. But if Ty loses his job, he's going to be the backup.
Yeah. Okay.
Austin Mack still ain't going to get on the field unless it's a blowout times 3.
Right. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because if they're doing it right in Alabama, they'll have, if Ty's a starter, you still are going to have to play Keelan Russell.
Right.
At least 15 to 20 plays and have his own package for the first 4 games, or even split a little bit of time if it continues to be a close competition.
Oh, so you're saying that the only way Austin Mack is going to get in if it's a blowout, right? He
still ain't gonna get in.
That's kind of like how I was in high school. But let's
but either way, he still ain't gonna get in because if it's a blowout, you want your backup quarterback to get most reps, so he can get ready to play. So the third string quarterback's not gonna play. So for a guy like that, this is my opinion. I think he'll be the first one to jump in that spring portal to find a new home.
So before I get into just what I'm the most excited about right now, prior to this 8-day format that they're trying to go with here. So Smoke, would you compare this from a coaching aspect? Would you compare this to 2017 where you had Jaylen and Tua, right? And as talented as Jaylen was, you knew in your back pocket the guy behind him is really the real deal.
Right.
So I got to get him as much reps as possible because I see the special sauce that he's working it.
Right.
He's my starter, true, but this guy too, I can't deny this cat.
Right. And that's what I'm hearing about Keelan. That's what I'm hearing about him.
K. Russell is not Tua to me, and the reason why it's tough to put him in. He's not Tua.
Okay. Gotcha.
Right. I don't think he's Tua. Can you hear me clearly? Mic on. He's not Tua. And what K. Russell does not have that Tua had was 5 NFL first round receivers.
Right. Okay.
Which he wasn't going to put the ball like half the time when they're going through 7-on-7. I just had this conversation with Coach Loxley the other day. The ball wasn't hitting the ground.
Right.
The receivers wanted to play with Tua more than Jaylen, even though Jaylen was the starter and he was a leader of that team. If you're a receiver, you want to play with the guy that can throw the ball the best. I don't see that's the case here. I think it's more of experience and understanding the offense for Ty. Right. And the game just being a little bit slower right now for Ty Simpson because, again, this is his 4th year in college football.
Right.
This is Keelan Russell's first semester trying to operate that offense. We haven't seen him in a game yet. The most that anyone of us has seen him or anybody seen him is in a scrimmage where most of the time the quarterbacks aren't live. So he hasn't gotten hit yet.
Right.
So, I mean, you just don't want a young, talented player like that being rushed into playing when you really don't have to be rushed into it, when you have a capable quarterback like Ty Simpson. Right. And again, I use that word capable because we haven't seen him in a truly competitive environment where it's win or lose. We've seen him in a situation where the game was already blown out. He had an opportunity back when Jalen Milroe struggled in the first couple of games 2 years ago. Came in, he still didn't look good enough. But again, he was still a young quarterback that was trying to figure himself out. Maybe the game slowed down now for him. 3rd year in that offense. New offensive coordinator, but same system.
Maybe he has a newfound confidence because he feels like now the offense is truly his. I think that can add a lot.
Well,
to it.
you know what? If he's just realizing and giving himself that confidence, shame on him. I don't have a lot of confidence in him. Because when you're going into a competition, you have to feel like you're the guy, irregardless of what's going on. And when Jalen Milroe went through that turbulence of Tommy Rees not understanding who he was, meaning Jalen Milroe as a player, and wanted to put him in a box and say, this is how you have to operate, instead of getting him an offense that he can operate within, that's when they started making that run. So you guys remember when he got benched for that South Florida game? all of those guys, including the lacrosse player, was it Tyler Buckner had his opportunity as well too.
He started.
The lacrosse player, and so did Ty. But neither one of those guys played good enough. So Milroe had to come back in, take the job over, end up losing to Michigan in the semifinals game.
Hey, well, you know what, Smoke? I like what you said as far as Ty Simpson. I believe he has the confidence. I feel that he knows that this is his team, but also just based on what Keelan Russell has been saying and the way he's been acting, he feels like this can be his team as well. So both of them have a great competitive nature. But again, Ty has experience, and I'm ready. I already got my tickets for the Ty train. And you know what's really good about this whole situation? This show, Marvin is muted; he can't talk, and that is a wonderful thing. God is so good.
Take that, Mook. You might have to take that backdrop off, man.
Yeah, it's backdrop.
Now I'll say this: what I've been the most excited about this camp is the personality of this defense. That's what's got me the most excited right now. The defensive personality. And these are guys that are not talking, but they're actually working. Mm-hmm. And the defensive line and the secondary specifically, the length of Dijon Lee and how he moves with it is impressive. It is incredibly impressive to have him. We can see a situation, and Smoke, you touched on this. We can see a situation where you can clearly see a set where you've got Damani Jackson and Dijon Lee, both boundary corners.
That's right.
And you take a Xavier Brown, who played on the boundary last year, and you could slide him inside as a nickel Husky. Like, you can literally see that as a situation happening. And then your two safeties, of course, you've got Sab and Brayson Hubbard, but then you got Zay Mincy, who's 6'3", who's also been showing up quite a bit here in spring ball right now.
Right,
so
right.
The personalities of this defense has come together in a way where this is a very good-looking group. Up front, it's not just one alpha up front, though Tim Keenan and LT Overton, straight dudes, but you got guys behind them. Jordan Renaud, watch him. Jordan Renaud and James Smith, those two. And if I got to throw in a third one, Jeremiah Beeman, who's now 315 pounds.
Wow.
Those three.
He's got to be a run stopper. Now, is it true the guy that we spoke of when you said the DB, is that the one that's like 6'6" or something? Or
he's 6'4", but he's got like a 6'8" wingspan.
That's like crazy, because usually most DBs 6 feet, 6'2". This dude is like 6'4", and he got that wingspan. I was reading about him. That's crazy.
Well, this is a perfect segue to talk about players as individuals. And this is something I think the fans really need to know about. First and foremost, let's talk about the players who've made the most progress here in fall camp. I'm interested to hear what each of you got to say. I want to start out with the obvious, that being transfer Isaiah Horton, 6'4", 205 pounds, had 56 receptions for 616 yards last year with Miami. And he began to show you what he was all about at Pro Day when he was running routes for Jalen Milroe. Had a follow-up performance, that first scrimmage, and made himself known, kind of cemented himself in the offense. He's picked up the offense flawlessly. Like I said, physical specimen, big body, and he uses it to his advantage. He's making the hard catches. He's a wide receiver that doesn't get out-leveraged for balls. I'm liking what I'm seeing. I'm loving the feedback I'm getting from former players as well as those around the program about how well Isaiah Horton is fitting into this offense. Stephen M., and then we'll go to Smoke, and we'll hear from Steve and hopefully Marvin. Stephen, in your mind, who would you say right now has probably made the most progress? It doesn't have to necessarily be a young guy. It can be a guy who's maybe been in the program 1, maybe 2 years.
I'm gonna go 2 here, and they're gonna both be on offense. The first guy I'm gonna go with is Richard Young. Richard made so much progress in camp. First off, he's taking health. That's the main thing. The main thing that's been holding Richard Young back is injuries, little nagging stuff. He has kept his body clean. He's kept his body healthy. And shouts out to David Ballou, who has taught this young man how to keep his body healthy. So that's big there on Richard Young. And for me, he could be the 1A in this room. Jam Miller does so much that Jam Miller, he can run, he can catch, he can block. but you need that power to just ram teams down.
Thunder and lightning.
Who's also got that speed to back it up as well. So you got Richard Young. I think number 2 guy that's been a lot of progress to me. Steve Brown's got Taco Tuesday. Wilkin Formby's been a lot of progress. Wilkins made progress. Wilkin right now at right tackle.
Yeah.
I think it's one guy. It's one guy he is fending off right now, and that's the transfer Arkell Anguan from Ball State. That's the only guy right now. That's the only guy. And so Wilkin right now has made a ton of progress. Going back to the two of the 3 touchdown passes that Ty Simpson had in the first scrimmage, 2 of those 3, Formby was at right tackle and really stood the guy up to protect Ty Simpson out there. So right now, the 2 that's made the most progress, I would go Richard Young and Formby.
I like that. Taco Tuesday, baby. Taco Tuesday. That's my guy.
We need to get some shirts there.
Yeah.
Smoke, you've got a deep connection to your alma mater. You talk to some folks here and there, and you've been,
you know what? Honestly, Justin, I'm probably next to you, the most hated man in Tuscaloosa. Next to Steve Brown, the most loved man in Tuscaloosa.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
No.
I don't think they like me that much. They like you a little bit more than that. Justin, I'm 2. I'm 1. You're like 101, but we're still in the ones.
We're still in there, man.
We're still in there. We aren't loved that much.
Controversy does what? Controversy creates cash.
Well, to be honest, the university hates my guts too. So,
no, I wouldn't. They don't hate me. I just don't like me. Like and hate are 2 different things. Like they can tolerate.
Smoke.
They want you dead. Go ahead, Justin.
I have seen a transformation. When you first got here, the reception from fans, they weren't ready for your style of analysis. But as I look at the comments now, they're embracing you. You've become that cool anti-hero type. And
the man we love to hate.
It's like back in the day, if you watch wrestling, the NWO were the villains, but all of a sudden they got embraced by the fans. They were cool. They were bad, but they were still cool. I kind of put you in that same boat.
You know what? I'm going to go with a guy out of Pennsylvania, Harrisburg, PA. Not Harrisonburg, Harrisburg, PA. Out of Bishop McDevitt High School, Rico Walker.
I know you're talking about.
Rico Walker. I'm going to go with Rico. And the reason why I say Rico is making the most progress in this group is he's quintessentially becoming either receiver 3 or number 4, meaning he's in the rotation from not being in the rotation all last year.
Oh, wow.
In terms of just being explosive, dynamic playmaker, speed to take the top off of the defense, plays bigger than his size. Him and Latair Brooks have been putting in a lot of work at that receiver position this entire spring, going against some really good DBs. So Rico's my guy that's making the most progress in terms of understanding his role on the team, his role in understanding the offense and fitting in the offense and becoming a better route runner and be able to play bigger and playing faster. Now he can really use his speed just because he understands the offense more and he's running his routes with more speed instead of thinking about where he needs to be. He understands where he has to be in order to get the football.
Smoke, I would go as far as to say, and I'm not crowning it yet, but I would even go as far as to say Rico is kind of challenging Isaiah Horton for that 3rd spot.
Right.
He's challenging Horton for that 3rd spot.
What about, is it Jaylen Hill, the one that got hurt last year? What about him? I heard he's not fully 100% yet. He's about at 90, 95, but he looks good out there. I mean, he looks good out there, and he will be in the mix too, Steve. The one thing with him is just getting him back 100%. Because the thing with him is when he got hurt before last spring really got going, the thing with him was mentally. When he got back mentally, could he put himself back where he needed to be at? Right. Because he would have been the starter at X or at the bottom Z last year had he not got hurt. So now that he's back healthy and he's back on the field mentally, he's put those pieces back to, I can really do this. Like I can walk through and do this. I like that.
That's one of the hardest things to overcome in terms of an injury is the mental game.
Right.
Trusting yourself, trusting that body part that where the center of the injury was founded. When you get that part conquered and you get that swag back, nobody can stop you. So it's not a question of if, it's when for Jalen Hale.
Right.
You know, some Justin, I've heard, and Smoke, you could probably touch on this too. I've heard of guys coming back too soon, and they will overcompensate the injury, and they'll mess up the other knee or whatever.
Right. And Steve, and that really goes into what Justin was saying, and that's having full confidence that it's healed. Right. You can do as many tests as you want to do. The strength numbers can be there. But until you go through a situation where you just run, cut, make a move without thinking about it, mentally you still aren't there.
Right.
And you have to overcome that mental hurdle before you really start becoming yourself again.
Gotcha.
And that's where the Adrian Peterson, that's the fastest that we've seen overcome the injury, just because AP was so locked into his mind of just saying, you know what, I'm healed. This knee ain't never gonna get any more physically stronger. It's just my mental that I have to work on. And he overcame that earlier than anyone else.
Wow.
And that's when he had that 2,000-yard season. So it's medically, we're so far advanced in how quickly the injured player from an ACL can recover. But the thing that we haven't accomplished yet is the mental hurdle. And that's going through your sports psychiatrist, having real faith in that body part's healed up to 100%, that I can go out there now, take a hit on it, make a cut on it, jump, contort my body in all different ways without tearing that ACL again.
Oh, wow. So I guess it's my turn, right, Justin?
Yeah, I'd love to hear from you.
Okay, yeah, I guess we got to move on to the next topic. But quickly, I've been reading about Isaiah Horton. I think personally, the way he's playing, he's probably gonna get started. He's challenging people, so I hope so. And of course, my guy, Ty Simpson.
Yeah,
I can't say enough about the guy, man. I'm on the Ty train. Y'all should be too.
Well, you know what, Steve? When Isaiah Horton was taken out of the transfer portal, and I was explaining that yesterday, Daniel Petty and I on the opening kick. That's on Mondays, 7 Central on the Bama Standard Network.
You ain't have to say all that.
I had to say all that, but I apologize. We are getting a lot of likes, clicks, and all that other stuff. Subscribe and love. Number one TV show on, number one podcast on the YouTube channel.
Get to your point.
On Mondays. So I'm going to get to my point. Whenever you
I like that plug.
I like that.
Whenever you and this is me putting back my general manager hat on. Whenever you take a player out of the transfer portal and they're a veteran player in a position of need, and a receiver position was a position of need, a veteran play that's contribute with proven production in college, I'm going to say, unless he just stinks the joint up, he has to play a pivotal role in Alabama's success early in the season. Now, if those young guys start nipping at his tail and start taking over his job, I get it. But what they paid, and I don't know what they paid, but they had to pay to him something in order to get him out of the portal. You have to use him.
Gotcha.
And Bama does not have a receiver with that size that can play that X position, that you can just throw the ball up to him for jump ball, 50-50 ball, contested balls to go up and catch. And he's a good enough route runner.
Yeah.
In college football to get open.
Pretty smooth.
Offense about to be dangerous if Caden Proctor.
I ain't going. Listen, I'm not ready to hit that button yet. But listen, I like the encouragement. I like the energy.
A couple other names that I've got to mention, and won't go into too much detail because time constraint. Hearing a lot of great things about Dre Kirkpatrick Jr., a kid you definitely want to get as a rotational piece in that secondary. If he's anything like his daddy, my gosh, what this secondary can do. And then you got to also think about adding him as a piece on special teams. When's the last time we really had a threat at punt or kick return? JMO, that seems like, eons ago? So adding him to give that special teams an extra threat is something that we definitely need to consider. And if his progression is as going as high as I'm hearing, then my gosh, Bama fans, we could start thinking along the same lines as, say, a Javier Arenas. But I'm not going to put that kind of pressure on him. Another guy on the offense.
20-second timeout.
Uh-oh, here we go. I
Hold
was
on.
wondering how long I could go before I got one of those infamous timeouts.
I'm sorry. So Dre Kirkpatrick like that?
Flag in the play.
He can do that too?
Listen,
I didn't know he could do all that.
I love the energy. I love the ringing endorsement of Junior.
Junior's good, man.
Junior's good. Javier Arenas is one of the coldest players to ever come through Bama. And I would hate to put that much pressure on that young man. And I hope, and I'm using the word hope because I don't know, that he could be Javier is.
Yes.
And I would want him to be better than Javier just because I want him to have success and I want this Bama team to win. But man, shout out to Javier Arenas, the best punt return in Alabama football history. Look at the numbers and production to tell you. But I'm sorry, Justin. Keep going on. That just caught my ears.
Hey, we're all about expressing ourselves here.
And we're back to our regularly scheduled program. Justin, take it away.
Yeah, so before we go to the next topic, like I said, we have another guy I want to talk about. He's made tremendous strides. Running back Daniel Hill, grasping the playbook. That's been his biggest downfall. But from what I'm being told is he's getting it. It's clicking. He's got the athletic ability. He has grown tremendously. I've talked to our guy, Bo Scarborough, who's mentoring him. This kid is on the fast track to being something. Is this the year we see it? We don't know. We got a lot of talent in that running back room. Possibly could get in that rotation, but we also have to consider Jaylen Washington's there for a reason. As Smoke says, you don't go into the portal just to get extra furniture to make the whole place look good. So there is a purpose in the planning. But we'll get to that as it comes. Before I go to the next topic, we got a couple of questions that I think Stephen and Smith can answer. William Morris, Big Bill, how is Cuevas looking at tight end? I thought that he showed a lot last season, which kind of ties into JM12 Green, how the tight end's looking. We're losing two pretty good ones. That's one of the things that hadn't really been touched on here in the offseason. And one of the things I felt was neglected this past season, given the weapons we had. Stephen, what have you been hearing about the tight ends, not only how they look, but how they're being given bigger roles in this new system as Ryan Grubb comes in to open things up?
Grubb is going to have that group running more routes. They're going to put their hand in the dirt and block, obviously, right, because that's an extension of the offensive line. But Grubb is going to actually have these guys running routes. Josh Cuevas is a wide tight end. He's going to be split out wide. He's going to run routes, go up, catch the football. He's going to block, but he's going to be basically split out wide there. Danny Lewis Jr. will serve in the C.J. Dupree role from last year, which means he'll be an extension of the offensive front. He'll block, but he'll also sneak out wide. He'll catch the football. Danny's got a big frame. He's always had a big frame. The one thing with Danny has always been getting comfortable in that pass-catching style, which he's gotten comfortable in that now. So you got Danny and Josh Cuevas. I think the star of the whole group is freshman Marshall Pritchett. Yep. Watch the kid. He's a complete tight end. But I tell you, can do it all. Marshall Pritchett can do it all. And if there's a fourth guy, Jay Lindsey. Jay Lindsey's just country strong, can block the mess out of you. But he can also really catch the football. The one thing with Jay, they're getting his hips more flexible. There are moments where his hips can get stuck and stiff coming out of the break, and that's what Brian Ellis has worked with him on, son. Relax your hips. Relax your hips. Go smooth. Make that thing fluent, turning in, turning out, using your body, getting in and out of your cuts there. But I think the top three guys in this room, Cuevas, Danny Lewis, and Marshall Pritchett, this is a very underrated room. It's a talented room. We saw Grubb at Washington. He would pop out those tight ends because he had an offense that really featured those guys, not just as blockers, but their athleticism catching the ball also.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal. Sleek J, how is the kicking and punting game going to look like this year?
Talty's got it, man. Talty has improved his accuracy, his leg strength. Talty's actually got it. For the first time, he's actually got it. Serious, he's actually got it.
Hey, Stephen M. Smith. That is outstanding, bro. Because if I ever get asked about the kicking game, here goes my answer. We'll find out when we get to the season. I ain't talking about no kickers, bro.
Oh, man.
What if he had?
Now, Smoke, I will say this. For a long time, that was the one issue with Bama, right? Where's the kicker? Why can't Bama have with them? And then Will Reichert comes in and calms that down.
Yep.
And calmed it down to where we hated seeing that brother graduate. We hated that brother graduate.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you. Again, shout out to you for knowing about the kickers. The only time that I ever want to talk about a kicker is if he misses a kick.
See, that's why the Bama fans turning on you right there.
That's okay. I'm okay. It's easy to score. Listen, I'd rather go for 2 than try to kick an extra point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're awful.
Yeah. If you got if you got all them animals back there in the backfield and you have a dual quarterback, if you go for extra points, shame on you as a coach. Stop playing scared. Go for 2.
Amen.
If you get it 50% of the times, you're fine. 60% you win up to 85% of your games because you have to force the team to make it to score 2 more points.
Smoke.
It's necessary numbers, bro. Analytics.
Hey man, you need to stay off that damn PlayStation.
I've never owned a video game. I'm just telling you that if I had Jalen Milroe or a running quarterback, any mobile quarterback, and I'm lined up, I'd rather put the ball in the best players' hands 100% of the time.
All right.
Than put my trust in a kicker. That's all I'm saying.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm not saying that they lack importance to the game, but I'm just saying 2-point conversions, I would go for those. 4th and 1, I would go for those. 4th and 3s, all depending on where I'm at in the field. Especially if it's 3 or I can get 7, I have a good defense. I'm gonna go for the first down.
And you're gonna call the play.
We appreciate you, OG Sean McVay.
That's it. Real quick, guys. We got super chat here from Big Bill, $7. RTR. Great to see Stephen M in there. He heard what you said in the beginning, Stephen, when you were confessing that the university had turned their backs. So this is kind of the offering.
Look, there have been so many times I have walked in there into the athletic facility. None of those guys, but I walk into those guys that can be like, oh, jeez, here come him again.
Oh, well, before we get to our next topic, man, listen, we got some great fans here. $10 from Don Parker. Great show as always. Got to ask the panel, are the offensive line issues being worked out and corrected, including Proctor at 360? Justin, your thoughts on seeing this heel turn so far? He said, F them kids.
You know what? Marvin's not on here. I think Marvin's one of the guys that truly have a problem with Caden Proctor and the size of the offensive line.
Before you go, Smoke,
go ahead.
I'm gonna say this, Smoke. I'm gonna say this. So it doesn't matter at this point where Caden Proctor is weight-wise. He's a big man. Mm-hmm. Whether he gains weight, whether he drops weight, he's going to be a big man regardless. Yeah. It was going to be wishful thinking for Proctor to go down to 330. That's not going to happen. He's 360. Now, seeing him out there at 360, he does move better. He does get out there and get to guys faster than what he was doing last year. So that's a positive. I mean, it's just like me. If I was to add 20 pounds right now, I'm still not going to be any different than what I am right now.
Okay, yeah, I agree.
I'm not going to be any different than what I am.
You're still going to have the best dad bod on the planet. I get it. I agree.
You know what, Smoke? I'm cool with that.
The best dad bod.
Best dad bod.
On the planet, not in the country.
Proctor is still going to be at left tackle.
Okay,
who else right now would you put in left tackle, Smoke? Who else?
So what you're saying?
Proctor.
So what you're saying is
if Proctor don't play left tackle, I'm putting in Proctor again at left tackle.
So what you're saying is he's still going to be a liability? Is that what you're saying?
You know what, Steve B? I don't think he's a liability. I think he's truly a guard playing tackle.
That's it.
But in college, you can get away with that because there aren't that many dynamic football players in college football to truly threaten Caden Proctor if he plays with proper technique.
Whoa. You said that there aren't that many guys who are that good in college football to challenge him. Well,
Yeah.
I think that statement is not true because he got beat so many damn times, and him and the other guy that left.
I disagree.
Pritchett, yeah.
Y'all are looking too much at body weight and need to be looking at footwork. I think that's the most important thing with him right there is his footwork.
Well, we need to amputate his feet and give him some more.
Yeah, he lacks foot quickness, but again, my question to anybody that says Caden Proctor is a liability, just watch college football and see how many tackles you'll take in front of him. And if you have 10 that you will take in front of him out of 34 teams, then I'm fine. But if he's in the top 15 in college football, dude, that's good enough.
Do you think he's in the top 15?
It tackles in college, I would say that. I couldn't pick 16 that's better than him, or 14 that's better than him.
Okay.
All right, great stuff. And we can definitely go on, and we'll get to that because we have another week before A-Day, so there's a lot to debate. Real quick, I saw a comment about the linebacker play. As far as progress, I've been told Kelby Collins and Nakai Hill-Green, physically, they are SEC ready, but they're having to bring them along slowly. They're not quite there yet. So how long that takes, that all depends on them. Those are two guys that I'm anxious to see. Hopefully it works. We'll get an opportunity real shortly. But listen, we got to talk about the biggest coaching impact. And I think we're mainly looking at the new additions in terms of the coaching staff, how they've made an impact on the team already. Big name, Ryan Grubb. We could go on. And then we have a new inside linebackers coach who is definitely taking a lot of the weight off of Kane Womack's shoulders. So, fellas, let's talk about coaching. Which of these new coaches do you feel like is making the biggest impact in the team in 2025? Steven, I see your finger.
I'm going with my guy Chuck Morrell. Looking with those inside backers, the one thing he's done so far that's jumped off the page, he got Deontay Austin talking. Deontay ain't quiet no more. He's now speaking up in his linebacker room. And so Deontay, he didn't speak the first couple of years. You can understand why. I mean, you got a Will Anderson speaking, you got a Dallas Turner speaking. So you can kind of hide behind some guys if you felt like it. You can't hide behind nobody. This is your team. You got to man your team, your defense. So the fact that Chuck Morrell has come down and been like, bruh, open up your mouth, talk. This is your defense. You got to be able to run that. And the fact that Deontay has not only taken to it, but he's now truly coming out doing it and doing it effectively. Chuck Morrell.
So let me ask you this, Steven. Deontay Lawson, I've watched myself miss an awful lot of tackles. We all seen it. The guy that was behind him, Justin Jefferson, he is a cleanup man. How was that looking? I know we're talking about.
So right now, Dion isn't practicing this spring. He's recovering from an injury he had last year.
Right.
Okay.
He's not practicing this spring. Jefferson's practicing, but he's limited from an injury he had last year. So right now, Nakai Hill-Green and Kelby Collins are getting a lot of reps, but you also have young guys. QB Reese inside's getting reps. Luke Metz, a freshman, getting reps out there. You got Abdul Sanders getting reps out there. You have Justice Hill, who had a very good scrimmage, a pick for him in that first scrimmage. So you got a lot of young guys getting the opportunity because of injury to D-Law and Justin Jefferson limited.
I like Justin Jefferson. I'm sorry.
You know what, Justin? One of our better Don Parker had a great question. Well, he had a rebuttal to me real quick. He said, heck no, he ain't no top 15 tackle.
Boom.
Okay, boom, 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 boom. You guys done blew up the room. I'll tell you what. Let him hit the portal and see what happens.
His size, but his technique, you can have all the size in the world.
All I'm saying to you is I don't coach size. I'm telling you he's a guard that's playing tackle. He's one of the better offensive linemen in the country. All I'm saying to you is one of the issues that I have with a lot of fanatics,
right?
The emotional attachment to greatness and not understanding that good enough is still good enough. Functional is still functional. You don't have to be great to be considered like one of the better ones. You just have to be good.
Gotcha.
And when you say this player sucks, this player sucks, this player sucks, and he's not good, but they go second round, first round, when they leave your team, they get better, then you have to look at a lot of variables that goes into it. So again, if he's playing tackle and his technique and he's playing as a true freshman and he's getting beat, like, there aren't a lot of true freshmen that come out there and start from game one and get in there.
Well,
you take him away from your left tackle right now, you have a big hole. And then you try to go replace that. I guarantee you, if he gets into the portal, he'll be getting about $6 to $10 million a year to play.
Easy.
And then you're going to be so sick about your quarterbacks getting their backs ripped out and their heads knocked off, then you're going to be praying.
But we used to that.
To having, no, you're not.
No, but listen, smoke, hold on. What I'm saying is,
so
nobody's
here's what a lot of times you blame the offensive line for sacks, right? Right. Sacks aren't truly predicated only on the offensive line.
That's right.
There were times that Jalen Milroe held the ball forever and ran himself into
a sack.
Pressure.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you have a guy like Caden Proctor, you don't want to step outside.
Right.
He's 360 pounds. Rarely is he going to get ran through. All you want him to do is stay vertical, stay square, force the defender to run upfield. But most of the time, when Jalen got in trouble, he was trying to escape out the back door.
Right.
Right, and that's to your left.
Gotcha.
Front door in protection where it's to your right.
Right.
Up and out is in the middle. He was always trying to spin out of there. Now, when you spin out and you get in trouble, that's fine. Now you're gonna get hit. Now, when it's time to throw the ball, RPO, the ball got to get out of your hands.
Right.
When it's a quick game, the ball got to get out of your hand. There aren't a lot of offensive linemen that can sit there and block for 5 seconds, fellas.
I got you. Listen, but the thing is, nobody's saying he sucks. I just want him to be more consistent. That's the thing.
Agreed.
That's
Agreed.
It.
Agreed.
Again, playing where he should be playing. You can't round peg square hole people.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have a better tackle.
I like that, Justin.
You don't have. And
that's the caveat, though. Like Smoke, you're absolutely right. Who is better right now? And do you risk trotting out a freshman who may not be ready? We talked about rushing a quarterback in too quickly. That can apply to any position. And y'all raised hell last year when Wilkin Formby was struggling against USF and only his second game as a starter as a freshman.
Yeah, they went in on him, and the thing is, one thing about him, that's why I'm a Taco Tuesday fan. He got better as the season went on. And then the thing is, his second game, they were throwing all types of blitzes at him that he probably never seen in his life. So but I tell you what, he was a whole lot better than Pritchard. He was. I'm sorry. So the kid, I think he's going to do really well this year. So I'm happy for him.
Right.
Well, I want to hear your take on the coach who's having the biggest impact. You have conversations with folks in the building, and you have relationships with some of those guys. To you, who do you feel like is making the biggest impact right now in terms of Alabama in 2025?
Well, we've been hearing a ton about how the safety play during spring ball has gotten much better. And that's because of guys have been in the building for the second year in that defense, but also because they hired Jason Jones, my Bama brother, one of the better safety coaches out there in the United States, in terms of teaching for them to understand the game and really having belief in his players and allow his players to play with proper technique, understanding, and allowing their instincts and their skill set to take over instead of trying to coach them to be robots. So Jay Jones, shout out to my man Jay Jones, my B-side fire brother, for coming back home and getting that back end right.
That was a home run hire.
Great hire, and really good in recruiting as well too.
And what's the guy's name from last year that was in Iowa? What's his name? Is it number 18? What's his name?
Don't have a clue. I'm glad he's gone.
No.
Number 18.
What was his number? He's a white guy.
Bray Hubbard.
Ray Hubbard. Oh my God! How can I? You know what?
We don't need him on Smoke.
Bama fans.
No, I thought he was. I thought Steve was saying the secondary coach.
No, I'm talking about Bray. Listen, that dude is a is a beast. I'm so excited. I'm ready to see him. Dog.
Let's see how long he stays as a starter.
What?
Let's just see how long he stays as a starter.
Ooh, that's a tall.
No, that's not good. Or listen, if you're replacing him, that means somebody's better. It's competition. Like Ivan Taylor ain't showing up just to hang out and have free meals in the daggone cafeteria.
And he's making a lot of noise. A
You see what I'm saying?
Is he from the transfer portal?
No,
he's a
true
freshman.
freshman.
The kid has the pedigree.
That's Ike Taylor's son. And I'm not saying that he's going to start in front of anybody. I'm just saying, let's see how long he can hold this young boy off that's on his heels. That's all.
And that's the best thing that could happen to us.
That's all. You want competition.
Absolutely. People.
Yeah. So I know everyone's in the comments going to say, "Oh my God, he thinks that Hubbard sucks." I'm not saying that. I'm saying he's good, but what you brought in talent-wise is better. Let's see how long he can hold on to that starting spot.
And as Smoke always says, don't listen to react.
Hold on. So you saying you want competition? Marvin is gone. I'm happy. What do you mean?
Now you can be great.
I'm great. I feel good about myself.
All right, before we get to our last few topics, we got to give another shout out to one of our sponsors, and that's Whitwell Sports. Listen, folks, the season never truly ends for Alabama.
Let me see if my man Steve
fans. We got A-Day coming up, and what we need there is a bunch of title towels waving in the air. Go to www.whitwellsports.com today. Enter the promo code STANDARD. Get a nice discount courtesy of your favorite Alabama network, the Bama Standard. That's right, folks. Get your title towel today.
Yeah, Smoke, where's your towel? Where's your towel, Smoke?
Man, I had it up before you had yours up, man.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And unlike Daniel Petty, it's the right side up.
Oh, Petty gets it upside right all the time.
That's it. All right. Let's go on to another exciting position group. I feel we've already touched on it throughout the show, but let's put the cherry on top in this conversation, the wide receiver core. Smoke, I'll admit you were right. Up until this season coming up and the guys coming in, Lotzier, Rico developing, we just hadn't had the caliber of receiver that Alabama fans are accustomed to. It's hard to replace a Henry Ruggs, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, J-Mo, John Mechie, the myriad of guys who were in the NFL, but we didn't
first rounders.
They were just okay. And no slight to them. That's just what it is. I'm learning to call it as it is because that's my job here. But we have some guys now who can return excitement to the field. Let's talk about them, guys.
Yeah,
these young men. Bringing the new regime. We started
out with the transfer portal ad. Isaiah Horton from Miami, more size receiver, but experience. So that's a good addition on top of what we have with Bernard and Ryan Williams. But the two young guys that I'm excited about is Lotzier Brooks out of Jersey. In terms of just, he'll put you in the mind frame of Waddle in terms of his explosiveness. And when I mean explosive, I mean from 0 to 10 yards, quickly getting on top of the DB. And with the ball in his hands, being able to put 1 foot in the ground, split defenders, and score. We haven't had that last year, and Ryan Williams was the only one that showed us that he could do that. Rico Scott also has that ability to take the top off the defense with just speed, vertical speed, but also the ball in his hands, creative, dynamic. So those are the three names that's added into this group that you can have a Ty Simpson play quarterback and be a dealer of the football. And he doesn't have to be a playmaker of the football, putting you back in the mind frame of when Mac Jones was on campus.
You're spreading it around.
Just spread the ball. Just get the ball out of your hands and get it into the playmaker's hands. Help out the offensive line by throwing it with timing. They know quick game. The ball's out of your hands now. 5 steps. Once that back foot hits in the ground, the ball's going to come out of your hand. That helps everybody. Receivers know how to get open, when to get open. Offensive linemen understand that internal clock goes off in your head. Ball should be gone. I don't have to protect for 10 minutes. So all in that kind of ties in. Second year in the offense. Everybody now knows the reason for those play calls in terms of the receivers. They're not just running a play just to run the play. They understand the reasoning of running to this area, the reason of getting open versus one high middle of the field player or split safety is what I have to do.
Mm-hmm.
So now you should see that improvement because everybody has more familiarity of the football, of the offense, and more continuity up front in the offensive line. So once you're now familiar with what's going on, you understand where you have to be and why you have to get there. That makes the game that much smoother. Everybody plays with a better pace and understanding of what the play caller wants out of each and every play.
Wow.
Stephen M. Smith, does the injection of this new breed return us to joyless murder ball?
I think it does. I mean, as great, as electric as the wave that came, the wave that had Calvin Ridley and Judy and Ruggs and Smitty and Waddle, and those guys had races on the field in practice to see who was the fastest. I think this group may be faster than that group in terms of just pure, ungodly speed. When you look at Ryan Williams and Mbakwe, they race all the time, and it's insane how quick they can pick it up and put it down. Horton's got speed. You look at Cole Adams, who has 10-2.
Gosh, we keep forgetting.
100-meter, like Cole Adams can fly. Like
Can.
you've got guys on this team with pure burners, but not just that, the route running to put with it, their ability to contort their body, distribute the weight well, coming in and out of bursts. And as Smoke mentioned, now all you need is a guy at the blackjack table, get me hot, deal the cards out. That's all you need now. And that becomes Ty Simpson's job. He's playing poker with the cards. Mm-hmm. Do I want a king high? Do I want an ace high here? Who want it? And just deal that sucker out. So you've got this room of guys that have speed, but they're also just unselfish blockers. They don't care who gets the ball. Just get the ball, go out there, and make a play. So Coach Shep has a room of guys that are not just going to catch the football, but if my boy got the ball, get out the way. Boom. Lay somebody out. And that homeboy score right there by you laying out the right block to spring him. He's got an unselfish room of game changers.
It sounds like the receivers are really starting to believe in the offense, and they're playing with a purpose now, and you got to, I guess, credit that to Ryan Gerald. So I'm excited about it.
I'm excited that we got speed, but I go back to what I said earlier. We have something that it's been absent the past several years. That's a big body receiver, a guy who can climb high, win that 50-50 ball, who will not have that ball taken from him. And Isaiah Horton appears to be that guy. And I hope he is, because that can make a big difference for us. But on third down, I know the critical situations where we got to get the ball out and brought down and win the fight. Is Derek Meadows going to be that guy too? He's a young guy, same body frame, possibly could be another guy like in the same mold, but he's got to wait his turn. But I'm excited based on what we saw in high school from him. Does it translate? How quick does it translate? Steven?
And Justin, I feel like you, as well as Bama fans, they want this so bad because we've seen the big body receiver get taken away because of injuries, right? Like Cam,
we had no answer once they got taken away.
Cam Sims in 2014 could have really been that guy. Injury, we never got a chance to see it. Derek Keith, who came out of LaSalle High School in Cincinnati, was going to be that guy. Injuries, we never got a chance to see what Derek Keith could do. It's like every time you get an Alabama receiver that's 6'3", 6'4", and you're like, oh my gosh, this is finally the guy, something happens, and we're like, man, what could have been? You even look at you even look at last year with Caleb Odom. We all wonder what could have been. So
I can tell you what happened to all those guys.
Wrong, Steven.
And I think you're dead on right with all those big receivers with their ability, Stephen M. But what happened to Derek Keith was all of those really, really good receivers that played in front of him. And D Keith's one of my guys. Shout out to D Keith. He's going to be a phenomenal receiver coach. I was just with him this weekend up at the University of Maryland. He's assistant receiver coach at Maryland with locks. But big receivers, if you're not truly a difference maker, it's tough for you to fit into the RPO world right now. And even Cam was going to be one of those guys because Cam is, like you said, Steve, and you're right, 100%. He's a big receiver that doesn't play big. And what I mean by that is he runs routes like he's 6 foot, but he's really 6'3". Injuries kind of got him. For him, it was injuries. D. Keith, sorry, my boy, he wasn't good enough to get on the field with those first-round dogs. Odom, again, at some point you got to figure out your why. And your why isn't always going to somewhere else. But him leaving to go somewhere else, shout out to him. It might work out best for him. But big receivers, unless you have an offense that's conducive to their skill set, it's hard to put them in play, especially if you don't have a pinpoint quarterback that gives those guys the opportunity just to throw it up and get them. But you're 100%. I want to see one of these big guys like Derek Meadows play.
Right. Fair point.
All right, real quick before we start to wrap things up, rapid fire. Young stars on the rise. We've been harping on it for a while. Name me a young star that you're most excited about coming in 2025. It can be a freshman. It can be a second-year guy. Whoever you feel like is going to be the guy to take the reins. Start me out. Smoke. Steven.
I'm going to go with a guy that I've never seen a cornerback that's this tall and this long, Dejon Lee, truly have production. He would be the first at 6'3" to truly be a dominant, productive cornerback in college. Usually 6'3" is too tall.
Yeah.
And you're talking about the Richard Sherman, and Richard Sherman's a one-off. He's a Hall of Famer. But the way that they played Sherm, he was still taken in the 5th round, right? He got better when he got to the NFL just because he found the right system to use his skill set, which that Seattle cover 3, match 3 concept. So I'm really intrigued to see Dejon Lee perform, and I want to see him in person to see everything that I'm reading about and I'm hearing about is actually true. I want to see it by myself on site. But I'm excited to see him, though.
Excellent work. Before Steven goes, chat, we need to hear from you. What newcomer or what young star do you feel is going to pop off in 2025? Steven, who you got?
Man, I'm going to say this. I got Rico Scott, man. And here's the reason. I saw the first Pennsylvania kid Bama took in 2013 as a 5-star, and Robert Foster.
Black Rob.
And I wanted Rob to work out. And we all know injuries, rotator cuff, week 3 against Ole Miss took Rob from us. Calvin Ridley, big ups to C. Red, but Rob was poised to have a big year that season until that rotator cuff happened. For the first time since then, we went back to Pennsylvania to get Pennsylvania kid and Rico, and little Rico balling right now. I want to see Rico go off.
But Stephen M., you know that area is rich in talent. You know that, right?
Rich.
I'm going to throw you some names at you. Ricky Waters.
Yeah.
Same high school. Shady McCoy.
Yeah.
Noah Spence.
Yeah.
From that area, Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
They can ball in PA, in Harrisburg, PA. Shout out to Shady McCoy and Ricky Waters. The best running back tandem from one high school. If anybody got a problem with that, at me. Coach G.V. Dixon.
Here we go.
And right out of Central Tuscaloosa, Steve Brown.
There it is all day.
Who are you excited about, Steve? Who you got?
I'm intrigued by the young man Smoke was talking about, the DB who was 6'3". That's crazy.
Yeah, Dejon Lee.
The length and all that, man. That's something you don't see in a DB because usually it's 5'10", 6 feet. But this guy, and then he's wingspan. He's just long. So I'm excited to see what he's got. You know, I think he's going to be an impact player if he does the right thing.
Somebody's going to have to get up out that starting lineup at some point if he keeps on moving up that daggone depth chart and competing at this high rate. He's different, man. I've watched him and evaluated him coming out of high school, and this is what intrigues me about him. And Steve, You said 6'3", 6'4", around there. I think he's really more like 6'3.5".
Mm-hmm.
But his body type is not like your traditional 6'3" guy. What you have long legs, short torso.
Right.
What makes it somewhat impossible to operate in tight, confined space like a cornerback has to. Because cornerbacks, you're only working in the space of a 5-yard box width-wise and vertically down the field. But everything that you do, you're doing it in a 1-yard box in tight, confined space. That's why when you start getting over the 6'1s, you start getting leggy. Meaning when the receiver puts his foot in the ground, you have to match him. And when a 6-foot guy or 5'10" guy puts his foot in the ground, typically you are taking about 1 or 2 extra steps just to recover. And those 1 or 2 extra steps, or that's when the receiver can catch the ball, put it away, turn, make a move on you. You're still coming out of your break.
Right.
And in the evaluation world, we'll call that a hitch in his step. But now when you see Dejon Lee at the line of scrimmage, he has a longer torso, like a 5'10" legs. You see what I mean? So he can move in tight, confined space. And again, his length is like an avatar creature, condor.
You didn't call the man a monster. Listen,
No, I'm just saying you don't see people like that.
Man. Okay, so I got one more. I got to go ahead.
Okay,
Steven,
who you got? Who you got?
Go ahead, Steven.
What Smoke is saying is, and with his wingspan, when Lee opens up to defend the ball, the quarterback has to drop a dime in the bucket.
Perfect bucket.
If it's anything less, it's a PBU or a pick.
Wow.
Because Lee's arms. Picture, Steve. Remember the Seattle Seahawks Legion of Boom defense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dejon Lee is like a created character from that defense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Avatar.
So okay, I like him, but my sleeper is Kirkpatrick Jr. If he's running, if he can return punts and all this stuff, he's gonna be special. I mean, if he's I'll just put it like this: if he's anything like his daddy, and I'm hearing that he's returning,
Daddy 6'2".
Yeah, but if he's anything like his daddy, he's gonna be a problem. He's gonna be a problem.
Apple trees produce apples.
Yeah. Daddy.
And the apple don't fall far from the tree.
Look,
we saying the same thing.
That's it.
No, but I wanted to sound clever.
Daddy's 6'2", but Junior got a mean streak in him, boy. Junior got a mean streak now.
Okay. I'm gonna give mine, and I got to answer a question from Efron.
All right.
Smoke, second generation talent, Ivan Taylor. Question is, how long until he gets in that starting rotation? It's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
I'm really excited about him and seeing what he can do. Seeing him pop off.
Taylor. Who is his dad?
Ike Taylor. Pittsburgh's Steelers.
Ooh.
Starting corner for all those years.
Whoa.
He played in college at Louisiana Lafayette with Charles Tillman, Peanut. We're about the same age. That's my guy, but
nobody knows.
Like
Peanut.
Father, like son. Apple trees produce apples, man.
I don't think nobody knows Peanut though.
Nobody knows Peanut Punch. It's famous. You know all those guys that run around and punch the ball out in the NFL. Yeah, that's who created it. Charles Tillman, Peanut.
Just say Charles Tillman. Nobody know Peanut.
I said Charles Tillman the first time.
But you said Peanut. Nobody know Peanut.
Are you arguing with the star?
Exactly.
$25 fine.
Who funeral we at? Peanut. I don't know Charles Tillman. I thought that was Peanut laying there.
Hey, you know what, Steve B? You're right. Charles Tillman.
Thank
you.
So
I got
also known as Peanut. Peanut Punch.
Remember that, folks. All right, so Ephraim's got a question directed towards me, and I'd love to hear from the rest of you guys. What do you do with Jaylen Mbakwe at wide receiver? That's simple. Tell him to go back to the defense.
Yes.
But however, there's probably language in his NIL contract in this new deal that kept him here that probably says he's got to appear on X amount of snaps on the offensive side of the ball.
Man, take your ass back to defense, man.
Nothing against him, but this wide receiver.
Can I make a bold prediction?
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Nothing against him, but this wide receiver room is so deep. We've told you we've told you why. We've told you about the talent. Who are you going to take snaps away from to put him in there to satisfy why he stayed?
Yeah.
I like him better at defensive back. He was showing progression. I loved his confidence, and he was starting to make some noise.
And he might get a spot taken. And he might get a spot taken at DB while you're trying to concentrate on both sides. Come on now.
Hey, today's April Fool's Day. Nobody's playing April Fool's joke on me. So what you just said that he has confidence to play DB, I'm going to say that's what he lacks. Okay? He lacks the defensive back persona, that bravado, that confidence that you have within yourself. Yeah. You don't see that. You don't see DBs wanting to play receiver because it's easier. He's running away from the competition of playing DBs, not against anybody else, the competition against himself. Because he's one of the rare and elite athletes in that building in Tuscaloosa and on that team. But to play cornerback, you have to have the ability to get spanked so many times that your butt is so charred that when you get roasted and somebody throws alcohol on you with all that charredness, that feels like second nature, rub cream good. And if you don't have that, and I don't see it in him, skill set, yes. Confidence, no. I ain't playing no receiver, bro. Wow. I'm a DB.
Yeah.
I lock up receivers.
We need Peanut.
So
you don't need a peanut punch.
So what Smoke is telling you in this segment, brought to you by Bakari Drinks, drink responsibly, by the way. What Smoke is telling you is Jaylen Mbakwe, wide receiver, return specialist. Just do that.
Yeah, man.
If I could make it a bold statement, I would say Jaylen Mbakwe right now, 50-50 chance that he hits the transfer portal. I haven't had no conversation with not a soul. This is me saying this.
I say
that DB room is so deep. That receiver room is so deep.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. The reason why my man might be staying and sticking around. Who's his best friend, Stephen M?
Ryan Williams.
Ryan Williams. But the thing is, if Ryan Williams, if Ryan Williams is producing, then Ryan is going to forget about you, man. That just listen. We need Peanut.
You don't even know who Charles Tillman is. Check him out with Roman Harper when they do their thing. They got a great podcast.
Was it salted or
honey roast?
The honey roasted podcast. All right, go ahead.
That's it. Listen,
Peanut and Rome.
we have had a tremendous show. We got a couple announcements to get to before we close on up. I'm going to talk to you about our guest next week here on the Bama Standard. Stephen Smith, you're very close to this guy. I think you've probably worked with him at one point. But listen, Clint Lamb from Cover Crimson and
good dude.
The Next Round Live. He's right in the middle of everything. He is somebody we're going to bring on the show the week of A-Day. He's going to break it all down, talk to you about what he's seen in practice, what he's hearing from coaches, and the conversation he's having with players. So tune into that. If you are familiar with his work, you're going to enjoy this show. But what you're going to enjoy the most is my next announcement. Y'all ready for this?
Do it.
Folks,
drum roll.
The Bama Standard is going to be back at 8A. So get ready. We're going to announce our destination next week. So that means you don't need to only come back for Clint Lamb. You need to come back to hear the destination of where you get to catch the Bama Standard live. And we're going to
pointing out shots, man. Pointing out shots.
That's it.
Anybody ready to ask me a question face to face and I'm pointing you shot? You got to show me your ID, though.
And we're going to have peanuts.
That's it.
Listen, Peanut ain't pulling up on you, man. You better check out what Peanut is right now. He's a federal agent.
Oh, my God.
You might get arrested.
The only thing we ask, folks, is we want you to be loud and we want you to come with questions. We're going to allow the audience to ask questions while we're live. So
and take shots.
And take shots.
Take shots of Smoke Wagon, brought to you by Gerald V. Dixon. My own brand of now.
And also, don't forget to bring your peanuts. Bring peanuts. Plenty of peanuts.
We're going to have legends with us as well. So we're going to be talking about their careers. We're going to hear the great stories, get their takes on absolutely everything. Our guy DJ Hall will be in the building, and we'll reveal some more. We're the Bama Standard.
First round of drinks on Steve Brown.
Yeah, guess what? Y'all know who Julio Jones is? He ain't gonna be there. But look,
Steve Brown is pouring up Don Julio, the big boy bottle, 42.
Oh, okay, whatever that is. Yeah.
All right, it's a time to wind it down. But folks, we've got other shows on this network, and we also have the Final Whistle, who has now moved to their own network, the Final Whistle Network. Pretty easy to find, same guys, same kind of content. If you're a fan of that show, hop on over there, like and subscribe to their channel, and continue to support them over there. But then tomorrow night on this channel, we got Crimson Dynasty with C.C. Payne, Dan James, and J.B. Baines coming to you at 6:30 p.m. Central. We also might be having another episode of Constantly Smoking coming at you.
Man, my man B. Russell just asked for that. Pull that up. Look at my man. When's the next episode of Constantly Smoking?
Hey.
It's dropping this Saturday. Me and my man Marvin Constant getting loose, smoking on every single topic, constantly burning every single topic up, giving you nothing but raw, unrated, unfiltered, scientific facts of why y'all need to listen to us. And best podcast in the world. Second comes the Bama Standard, then Open Kick.
And also, it might be just smoking because Marvin internet is cut off.
No, See, I put my hotspot on when he's around.
But Smoke is not lying, folks. Listen, y'all have spoken. That's the one of the top shows on the network right now. The first 3 episodes have been insane, and you've shown up, you've shown out, and you showed us that you approve and you need more. So that's what you're getting. Well, guys,
you know what though, Justin? What Marvin and I truly need, we need some tough questions. Give us some questions that you want answered. Throw them in right now on the live chat. I'll make sure we answer those on our next episode.
Justin, wait a minute. Hold on. Justin, that's not fair. You letting him and Marvin get a show. Steven, let's me and you do a show and call with our shirts off, call it Love Handles. If y'all want to see that,
Hey, let's start the paper on that.
Yeah, man. Yes, look. Next Thursday, Stephen M. Smith and we're gonna have a show. Listen, shirts off, and we're gonna call it Love Handles. Justin, we're gonna get some pictures of us, and we're gonna do that, people. If y'all want to see it, let us know. Yeah, Stephen, don't let them outdo us. Him and Marvin, come on now.
And their first segment's gonna be called Peanut Punch. So get ready for that.
I want y'all to look that up. The Peanut Punch.
But hey, if you have not yet caught Constantly Smoking, shame on you, but there's still time before the next episode. It's in our channel. They have their own playlist. Go check out the first 3 episodes, guaranteed to change your life. But we'll continue to change your life by providing you with our socials. Folks, let's go around the room real quick. Start us off, Steve Brown, and give us your socials. Tell us when your next show is, how folks can get tickets. Then we'll go to Stephen M. and then up to Smoke.
Hey, just go to my website, Steve Brown Comedy. Also, Instagram, Comic Steve Brown. Facebook, Comedian Steve Brown fan page. Hey, I'm around, man. And just look for more of me on the Bama Standard. And, of course, coming soon with my man, Stephen M. Smith. Love Handles. Let's get it.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait. Stephen M., was that the new show you were telling us about the other day on Talking Bama?
Well, that's the spin-off of it. That's the spin-off, though.
Yeah.
So Stephen M's show, Through My Own Lens, followed up with Love Handles. That's what's up.
Yeah, it is.
Y'all ain't right, man.
Or man boobs and love handles. We're gonna do it.
Oh man.
We're gonna constantly smoking.
Hey, Steve, we got merch and all that, bro. We got our own bottled water, and ain't nothing on it yet.
It's
Just
coming,
a
bro.
bottle.
It's coming.
That could be baby oil from Marvin. We never know.
No, Diddy.
We got. Hey, listen, we got some merch coming, man. We got our towel coming. Ain't nothing on it yet, though. But it's coming.
Don't worry about it.
As long as it's not Diddy.
Anyway, well, the people can find me at Coach M. Smith on X. They can find me right there. In terms of the new show, aside from my man Steve Brown, the show that we doing, the show that's me, I'm making a return to the podcast space. My own show is going to be called Bama Visions. I'm getting with Justin on the show day, but it's going to be called Bama Visions. I'm going through not just my time in the hard grind of covering Bama football, but the questions that you, the Bama fans, are scared to think about, but I will bring to you on the actual show. And it's going to be me in a whole different light than where you've seen me the first 16 years of my career.
Shirt off.
It's going to be
Wait
a
a minute. Is Don Parker on to something here?
Oh, man. Oh, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, see, I told you. And what's the name of the show? It's called what?
It's called Bama Visions.
Bama Visions. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if he loses glasses, that means the show going to be automatically canceled. So, make sure.
Stephen M., you got a request here from Keenan Fee, and that's something we need on the network, a call-in show.
Yeah, that would be great.
Hey, I can do that. I ain't act with you. That's
and Smoke, for constantly smoking, Ephraim has a suggestion. He says you need an offensive guy on the panel.
Why? Why, Ephraim? If you can tell me why, I'll think about not doing it. But tell me why. You can only ask me to think. I'm gonna think about not doing it. But you jump back in and tell me why we need an offensive guy to tell us what.
I do have this to say though. So Steve Brown and I for love handles. We got our iPads coming out. We got the iPad coming out.
Yeah. Also, Stephen, do me a favor. When we get up, send me a picture of you with your shirt off. Cause we're gonna make church fans, and we're gonna put. All right. We gonna be me and you gonna be on the church fan with no shirts on. So we
man, y'all ain't right.
Look,
they're gonna be singing, waving the fans and singing.
I'll send Mother Mary one. I'll send Mother Mary one. She'll get one.
You're gonna be waving your fans and singing, "Come on in."
Well, close the doors. Okay. Hey,
stupid man.
Hey man, let's get out of here before Smoke make somebody mad.
Smoke, go ahead. Tell the folks how they can find you and how they can find Constantly Smoking, just all the good stuff you have coming right at them, and how they can argue with you on A-Day.
Well, the only way you're gonna argue with me on A-Day is if you pull up to A-Day and you're there live, because I ain't taking nothing over no airways. You can pull up and let's flood whatever location that we at, flood it, pack it out. Make sure that we get a fire marshal to put us all out. That's how packed I want the spot, Steve B.
Let's make it happen.
Let's make that happen. But you can find me on X at Coach GV Dixon. Listen, I got a ton of content on there. Whatever question that you want asked, I'll try to answer them. If they suck, I'm not going to. If you're using profanity, I'm not going to engage in it. Ignorant behavior, we ain't putting up with. on Mondays and Wednesdays.
None of my friends can come?
Nah, I ain't putting up with it. Mondays and Wednesdays. You can find me on the 24/7 Sports channel on our YouTube channel with our number one show, the Ultimate College Football Show. And that airs at 3 Central, 4 Eastern time, Monday and Wednesday. Me and my man Cooper Patagna, Emily Proud. We get it down. My good friend, Brad Crawford. We have a good debate. All type of information that you want, anything that you want pertaining college, all the information from A to Z. We cover it all. On Mondays, I jump right back in. My man Daniel Petty and I, we get busy on the Bama Standard Sports Network. We talk about everything from hockey, boxing, slapping people in the face like Steve Brown, showing up to Steve Brown, the funniest man in the world, comedy show. Even though he wears the worst Bama shirts, we'll still talk about it on the opening kick. 7 Central, 8 Eastern, 1 hour only, but it's phenomenal, man. We even had our man Stephen M come on Moonlight with us. Whatever topics that we jump on, We just don't discuss Alabama. We just don't do SEC, Big Ten. We go Pac-12, Pac-2 if you want to, and the ACC. But we jump into everything, even do a little bit of high school. So those are only a couple of things that I'm on. But the hottest thing smoking right now, if you haven't heard, please go check out those first 3 episodes. Constantly Smoking. Marvin ain't doing no curls. He ain't working out. We just give him straight business. At some point, Stephen M., we're going to have you jump on there and give us some information that only you can cover.
I just want the Batman signal. Just give me the Batman signal.
Hey, listen, we don't got a Batman signal. We got a smoke signal.
That's it.
Well, I've been trying to do. Hey, listen, you open in your hand. Justin, can I get 1 minute? This dude here, Steve Brown, is opening his hand like this, saying, where? I've tried to do business with you so many times. I've called, sent texts, made suggestions. I really wanted you to do a comedy show, 8-day weekend. If Bama football only wants to give us a practice, we're talking about practice, man. Like my man Bubba Chuck said.
Whoa, hold on.
I want Steve Brown to do one of them comedy shows that I had in college, either before that Bama Standard goes live or after, and then we get this thing popping. I'm still telling you,
that's fine,
the first round of drinks on me. Pull up.
But that's fine. But what you're not gonna do is take my partner away so you can dilute our podcast we coming up with. Listen, man boobs and love handles is gonna happen, people. We see this. I see what you're doing, brother. I'm not doing no comedy show for you. I'm doing it for
sabotage.
There it is. It's not a sabotage. Man, let's get out of here, man.
Don Parker, love that question. We'll get that answer, bro. We'll get that answer.
Early location here for you folks who are still hanging in the chat. We'll be at the Wheelhouse Sports Pub in Tuscaloosa. So get ready. We might have Steve Brown comedy. It depends on whether or not he tries to steal his partner.
5 joke special. That's all we need. 5. Yeah. We just need that 10-minute slot that you always give. Just 10 minutes of it, bro.
Right, so if I do it, can I wear one of my knockoff Bama shirts without y'all clowning me?
No doubt. And listen, I'm gonna have the flashlight too. You know how y'all comedy dudes got that flashlight when you're going too long?
You gonna come out with a broom like a Apollo?
The Sandman.
Well, listen, folks, it's been a fantastic show. Couldn't do it without you being here. Join us next week and get ready for A-Day, but that's going to do it for all of us at the Bama Standard. We out. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Yeah.